How did it age?
Welcome back to HIVEMIND Unlimited.
And welcome to another episode of our movie series, How Did It Age? Where we watch older movies and reevaluate them with modern context. Today's movie is a 2001 film called Wet Hot American Summer.
Yes, Riley. You know what? I'm just going to let the cat out of the cat right now.
Man, let it out.
It's one of our favorite movies of all time.
Yes.
And, you know, it's special to both of us in very different ways.
Mm-hmm.
You were born in a bubble and you weren't allowed outside. And I grew up at summer camp. And so this to you was kind of like the life you never got to live.
You were conceived at a summer camp. You didn't grow up at one.
I was conceived and I concept at a summer camp.
Mm-hmm.
Many an abortion at the old YMCA.
What a concept.
Yeah, what a good life we led. This is a brilliant film from the minds of David Wayne and Michael Showalter.
Yeah, Michael Showalter wrote it. David Wayne directed it.
Correct. David Wayne's from Shaker Heights. Shout out.
Yeah, shout out Ohio.
And he was in a comedy troupe, The New Group, which turned into The State while he was at NYU Film School. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where a lot of these characters come from, where they worked out some of the ideas for this. And obviously, as a kid, he frequented several Jewish summer camps, one in Canaan, Maine, where this one's kind of loosely based off of.
I believe this one is actually based off of Camp Tomahawk.
Nice.
Michael Showalter said that it's based off Camp Tomahawk, where he went. There were 40 campers at his sleepaway camp.
That's not a lot.
No, it was a tiny little Jewish summer camp.
That's incestual. This movie stars Janine Garofalo, David Hyde Pierce, Molly Shannon, Paul Rudd, Christopher Maloney, Michael Showalter, Marguerite Meru. That's French.
Moreau.
Yes. Ken Marino. That's American. Michael Ian Black, Zach Orth, A.D. Miles, Amy Poehler, Bradley Cooper, Marissa Ryan, Kevin Suzman, Joe Latruglio, Elizabeth Banks, and several more.
Yes. 80 Miles, fun fact, is the head writer for The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon.
Bullshit.
I swear to God.
Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit.
I swear to God.
Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit.
I swear to God. And Joe Latruglio, you might know from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Bullshit.
And Ken Marino, you might know from Party Down.
Yeah, David Wayne directed an episode. There's a behind-the-scenes doc of this, Hurricane of Fun. Have you seen that?
I have, actually, yeah.
Is it fun?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, the behind-the-scenes interviews for this are fantastic. One of my favorite quotes from it is Janine Garofalo saying that when she read the script, she was like, so many lines from this movie are going to be quoted forever. I mean, it is fucking hilarious. Can I say hilarious?
That's good.
Yeah, I often do that one where you say fucking something and then you say the other word and say, can I say that?
Fucking ass. Can I say ass?
No, that's another curse word, so it doesn't work as much.
Okay, I'll retool and come back later.
Okay, sure.
For the joke. It was a massive failure money-wise. It was a $1.8 million budget. It only made about $300,000 in whichever releases it got. I don't even think it saw a ton of theaters.
It saw 2 theaters in its opening week. It made $7,000 in its opening week, and then only made $300,000 with its theatrical release worldwide.
Yeah, they showed it at Sundance a bunch of times to sold out crowds and were like trying to sell it to anyone to get distribution deals. And I think the biggest offer they got was like $100,000.
Yeah, from USA Films, which is now defunct.
Yeah, defunct. Pretty universally panned by critics, but beloved by fans. It has a 39% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 6.5 on IMDb, and a 3.6 on letterboxd. Roger Ebert was fuming. He hated it. He gave it 1 out of 4 stars, and the opening line is, "Boy, I hate it, something fierce."
Yeah.
Shreds it apart the whole time.
It was a critical and financial disaster. Yeah. Like, this is one of those that is a true cult classic film. It built its lore over years. It had a small dedicated fan base that would dress up as these characters for Halloween and eventually just became this huge thing in the comedy world. David Wayne described it as like, if you like this movie, you're cool with me, is what people would say to each other. It was like an inside joke almost, like, if you know that this is actually the funniest movie, then you understand comedy. Yeah. And then everybody else hated it.
Yeah, it's a good test for a partner.
A litmus test.
Litmus. Yeah, it's a great test for a partner. If your partner doesn't like this movie, leave them that night.
I don't know if anything is that black and white, but
this is truly, summer camps are awesome, and all the cool summer camp counselors that I grew up with loved this movie.
When did you see this movie first?
I think I watched it as I was like either a CIT, counselor in training, or like my first year at camp as a proper counselor. I started going to a camp when I was like 6 years old, and then as I got got older, I was obviously the cool camper, and I was tight with the counselors, and the counselors were always like, we wish we could show you this. They'd be quoting it all the time. You know, there'd be like little inside jokes, and I'd pick up on them, but it wasn't until I was probably, I don't know, 16, 17. And then I finally watched it like with my little camp crew, and we were like, well, this is our personality for the next 6 years.
Yeah, that's how I think I saw it when I was 16, 15 or 16. And then I've seen it probably 100 times.
Yeah.
Anytime I meet someone.
Yeah, it's a great.
I'm like, hey, you want to watch this movie? And a lot of the time, people have never heard of it.
Yeah,
which it's kind of wild because I feel like a lot of people do talk about this movie, but at the same time, there are plenty of people who just straight up have never heard of it.
Yeah,
there aren't a lot of people who have heard of it and not seen it.
Yeah, that's true. It is a great movie to like be in the know, and I think that's what makes it work. Is like if you're in on the joke, it's the best movie ever.
Right. And in college, I got really into The State, and the people who made this movie that's like where this comes from, the world of The State. And The State was a 2-season MTV show from this sketch group that went to NYU, like you said, and was a rival for Saturday Night Live for 2 years. And then there was just like issues with the network that they kind of fumbled making it a real big thing. But their whole thing was kind of this brand of really dry, weird kind of fake humor. Like it's supposed to be awkward and poorly acted, but it's hard to pull off. And they were really, really good at doing this exact brand of comedy. So if you like this movie and you've never watched The State, I recommend checking that out too. Yeah. You want to hear the plot?
Yeah.
It's 1981 and it's the last day of camp at Maine's Camp Firewood. So much has happened this summer, and the counselors and camp directors only have one day to resolve their romantic quagmires, let go of their sexual repressions, and look skyward to avoid looming disaster. All before the big camp talent show. Coop likes Katie, but Katie's dating Andy, but Andy is hooking up with Lindsay. Camp director Beth has a crush on hunky astrophysicist Henry Newman. JJ and Gary try to get McKinley laid, but McKinley is gay with Ben. Gene isn't being honest with himself about his fetishes and finds the strength to embrace them after talking to a can of vegetables. Victor comes clean about his virginity, is on a mission to lose it, etc. In this minute-by-minute retelling of a single day, we see a group of 16-year-olds tie up their loose ends before the clock strikes midnight, and only a few campers die.
Yeah, what is the total count on kids' deaths?
I think it's 3.
Are we counting the kids that get pushed out of the van? We're assuming they die.
Yeah, because they're out on a road. They don't know how to get back to camp. And
There's 2 of them, 2 drown.
Right.
So that's 4.
Is it 2 that drown or just 1?
2, the kid that drives the boat and then the kid that water skis, Lars.
Right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it might be 4.
Yeah, I think it's a 4 kids die in this.
All at the negligence of Andy, played by Paul Rudd.
Yes, the 2 that get pushed out of the van, we don't really know who's pushing.
It's Andy.
Andy's not in the van on the first trip.
I think he is.
No, it's Ken Marino and partner.
No, it's not. 100% positive.
Okay, let's get into some of our favorite lines.
The van is gone. They're taking the kids out on the trip. On the whitewater rafting trip. It might be the same van because they didn't have a lot of money to make this movie, but I'm saying it was Andy. You're not going to beat me in like if we did a trivia about this movie, I would win.
Hope you guys are having fun at home. Let's get into some of our favorite lines in this film, of which there are a plenty.
Yeah, I have lots of them.
Yeah.
One that just sticks out right away that I think about all the time. This is a long-winded one, but this is Coop pacing back and forth with a baseball mitt on, talking to the campers who are about to play their final championship baseball game. And he says, as everybody knows, this week is the big culminating climactic game against evil Camp Tiger Claw. We put together an unlikely team of misfits. We've been training like crazy all summer. Yeah, it's a motley crew you'd think would never be able to win a single game. We had a kooky training period where it seemed like nothing was going to go right. But guys, somehow we made it to the finals. So I say when those anonymously evil campers from Camp Tiger Claw get here, we give it our best shot. We try to come from behind at the last minute with some weird trick play that we made up, and we win the game. What do you say, team? And they say, it seems like pretty well-worn territory. He goes, yeah, it seems kind of trite.
Yes.
He goes, that how everybody feels? And then he goes over and tells as the bus shows up from Camp Tiger Claw, he goes over and says, yeah, they think it's trite. And they're like, all right, back on the bus.
Yeah. I think that's the first instance of me ever hearing the word trite.
Yeah.
And man, was that just a leading word in my vocabulary. Like as I was like thinking I was cool, smart guy exiting high school, into college, anytime someone said something, it's a little trite.
It's a bit trite.
It seems like well-worn territory. It's so funny.
It is so good because it plays perfectly on a trope. I feel like it's a good entry point, like a nugget of comedy for somebody because it's parody.
Right.
Like everybody knows the movies they're talking about. They're doing Bad News Bears. They're doing like whatever. And then they just fully bail on the concept. And it's like a 30-second scene. Yeah. You know?
And then I love that the kids just like stand up, go do whatever they want. Yeah. Like no kid wants to do it.
They all run like the kids in Weapons, like in different directions. They're just like running into the woods. There's so much of that in this movie too, where like when people are exiting scenes, they decide to just like go stand against a wall or fall directly into the water. Like nobody exits a scene to do anything else. And there's also so many overlapping scenes. There's somebody on a mission doing something else, and then they're in another scene that has nothing to do with it. It's like the movie almost doesn't make sense, which is great.
I love the line early on when all the counselors are gathered on like the front stoop of a cabin or whatever, and they're talking about, in 10 years, we should all meet back here. And then they get into like a logistical discussion about what time they should meet there.
Yeah, they're like, well, let's say 9 so everybody can be here by 9:30. And he's like, let's say 9:30 and make it your beeswax to be here by 9:30. I mean, we're all going to be in our late 20s by then.
And then Michael Ian Black goes, well, I have something at 11 and I can't move it.
Yeah, I already moved it twice.
Yeah, I already moved it twice. He's like, what do you have, a trapper keeper full of appointments? And he's like, well, I've already moved it twice.
It's
so good. Plenty of my favorite lines come from Gene, the PTSD-ridden lunch guy.
Yeah, Christopher Maloney.
He's serving potatoes and he gets in Gary's ear and he goes, listen to me, you fucked up cigarette-smoking piece of shit. I was in the Vietnam War.
Yeah, he goes, I've seen more fucked up shit in 20 minutes out there than you've seen in your entire life.
Gary just apologizes. He goes, I'm really sorry about that, Gene. And he goes, we got 6 gallons of bug juice to make by lunchtime, and do you know where the powder packets are? They're in the cabinet above the sink, right next to my bottle of Dick Cream.
He goes, stick ball, whatever, get out of here, leave me alone. When he walks away in that scene too, Gary just goes, pretty sure he said Dick Cream.
Like it's almost breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, it's so good.
Oh, it's awesome.
One of my favorite characters in this entire movie is Henry Newman.
Yeah.
The astrophysicist who is just getting some time away from his job as an associate professor at the nearby college. And you may recognize David Hyde Pierce from Frasier. Mm-hmm. That's what he's in, right?
I think so, yeah.
I think, yeah. So it's so funny to see him in this context, but his first conversation with Beth is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, she's over there just like, talking to him, like, thought I would, introduce myself, which is such a weird delivery. But then he says, do you work at the camp? She's like, yep, I'm the camp director. How about yourself? And he goes, I don't work over there.
That's one of my favorites.
This is something about the delivery. And then he goes, like, when she says something weird, he just goes, right, thanks for everything.
They have some great back and forth. When they're having the conversation, she goes, listen, Henry. He goes, please call me Henry.
She goes, Henry it is.
Henry it is. Yeah. That's great. I love no, seriously. Tell me, I'll go tell him. He's talking about getting tenure or whatever.
He goes, tell that to my dean. And she goes,
okay.
What's his address?
And at each step of the line, he's like, you're kidding. 5, 6, 7. He gives her every step of the way.
And he's like, this is great. And it's zip code is.
Yes. Another line of his, Henry comes in after Beth asks him to come to the camp and run a daytime activity, teach some of the kids about astrophysics. And he kind of declines, but then he comes over later and he
kind of declines. He goes, I said no.
I said no. He comes into the mess hall and he's talking. He's like, where are and he's trying to describe the nerdy kids, and he gives a couple examples, and he just finally settles on the indoor kids, which I loved and used so much during my camp years.
Yeah.
As a director, I'd be like, all right, and for the indoor kids, we got this activity today. And it'd be some nerdy crafts or learning thing or whatever.
I love also that he's the sci-fi, whatever. And he's just Zach Orth's character is just looking at him. And then right as he says indoor kids, he goes,
yep.
So good. Another David Hyde Pierce line that is fantastic is he's trying to figure out this machine or whatever that they're building to divert the renegade piece of Skylab that's heading straight for the camp. And he goes, oh, fuck my cock.
Yes.
In front of the kids.
That's one of the best, dude.
And then I love the physical comedy too, when he's like, they're all like laying down and they're like, they're doomed or whatever. And he just like springs up and he goes, no. He's like pressing like an actual execute button on a calculator.
Yeah.
Like it's so funny because you could see somebody doing this and it makes sense, but he just goes, no.
Yeah.
Like he has to press the button to see the answer. There's something so funny about that.
The machine is like a stack of donuts with a Spam can on it. It's like so funny. Sorry.
Yeah.
And it like prints out little receipts for that.
They rip them off and look at them.
Ridiculous.
I also love when same characters, Janine Garofalo, David Hyde Pierce, and Janine Garofalo goes, "Hey you, penny for your thoughts." When she says that, it's great. It says, "Beth, tomorrow is the least of our problems." She says, "Don't tell me. Oh, don't even tell me you have crabs." And he goes, "No." Well, yes, but that's not the point.
Meet me at the picnic table in 10 seconds.
Oh, that is so good.
And she gets there and it's with all the kids and he's in a lab coat.
He's in a lab coat explaining. And then he also is like, I love how he acts like surprised. Like, oh, I forgot I scheduled this appointment. Like he's like, "Oh, Beth, shoot."
Like they were really in the middle of something. Yeah. So good. Let's get into one of my favorite relationships in this, which is Katie and Andy, which is Paul Rudd and Marguerite Moreau.
Marguerite Moreau, who you might know from a little storyline in Lost, where she plays Hurley's love interest in the real world. Boom.
Real World, great show.
Yeah.
They're like making out outside of the cafeteria before lunch. And Katie's like, "How about we go out to Gunner's Point this afternoon and have a little more alone time?" Paul Rudd just goes, "God, Katie, you're smothering me.
You're suffocating me. I need some breathing room."
And then he's just acting like a defiant dick. And then he calls her probably the most cutting line in the whole movie.
Oh, it is, but I wish it wasn't this funny. He calls her a slur.
Yes.
The D slur, if you will, for lesbian women. And she says like something like, "Come on, Andy, we're soulmates, aren't we?" And he goes, "Fuck you." Calls her that.
And then the physical comedy of the spin around the pole with the middle finger out to your soulmate girlfriend, high five your pal JJ, and then throw up another bird behind your back.
It's unbelievable.
That like little motion is just so funny. I do that any chance I get on a pole.
Yeah.
Give it the 360.
And before that, he also does the thing, like he says that, and then she's just kind of taken aback, and then he grabs her face and he's like, "I love you, baby." Like, it is such a like whiplash, weird performance from Paul Rudd.
Yes.
But it's so like 80s and 90s movie coded of like parodying the bad boy.
Yeah.
And he does it so well. He's in a jean jacket with like an anarchist symbol on it. And
in the early meeting too, Beth is talking to all the counselors and she says, "Well, we made it to the end of summer in one piece, except for a couple of campers who were lepers."
They all start laughing. Yeah.
It's just so stupid.
I also love that everybody has this weird like thing about Beth being really funny. Like they all are like, "That's funny, Beth.
Yeah.
You're like a regular Ruth Buzzy."
Yeah, I'm not just a regular Ruth Buzzy standing here.
I'm not Ruth Buzzy standing over here.
She's assigning tasks. She's like, "A goat pooped in the infirmary. You have to clean it up." And the nurse goes, "It's not even possible." And she goes, "It is possible. And it happened on my shoes." She's like genuinely sad in that line. She's like, "It is possible."
Yeah.
It's so fun. Like, why would that be impossible?
I also love that when she's doing that, she says, 2 campers got stuck in the ropes course. I meant to tell you that yesterday, but you got to take care of it today. and during that, they just show, I think it's JJ and McKinley maybe, and they're like whispering to each other, and then they turn and they're like they didn't listen to what she said, implying maybe that there are 2 more campers who died. It could be a death count of 6. I'm going to just rapid fire a few. One that I love is when Gary walks into the one bunk and it's just Abby Bernstein sitting on the bed, who she makes out with everybody, and everybody pulls out a stick of gum. That's how you like signify that you want to make out with somebody, I guess. And I definitely like not used that, but sometimes I like will pull out a stick of gum and be like, you know, before you make out with somebody, just
try
because
that with me.
Well, yeah, but we ended up just chewing. He walks in and he's like, "Oh, hey, Abby, I thought this was a different bunk." And she just looks up chewing gum and goes, "No."
So
I don't know why
bizarre.
that's so funny. I also love when Lindsay is making out with Andy and Andy just goes, "You French great." And she goes, "You're not so bad yourself, Mr. Man."
That comes soon after the, "Just writing my journal." She says, "You mean journal?" And he goes, "Sorry, I guess I'm not all smart like you are."
And she's like, "Let me read it." And he's like, "Only 3 people can read this. Me, myself, and I."
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. I love when Beth is making an announcement to the lunchroom, and she says, "The following campers need to put their trunks out so the early bus back to Boston can pick them up at 7:30 a.m. Then she just starts listing names.
Yeah.
And you can tell she's thinking of them as she goes.
Yeah.
She just goes, Amanda Klein, Jessica Azaria, Ira Stevenberg, Saul Zimmerstein, David Ben Gurion. And it is like largely Jewish names.
Yeah.
So the idea of just her trying to think of Jewish names and doing this is so funny.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's like we didn't even name the campers in like the, the script.
When Beth goes to Katie for advice on how to be hot because she's crushing on Henry.
Yeah.
She goes, "If someone wanted to be hot, what would you do? Put on a clean pair of pants?" Yeah. She's like fixated on pants. And then Katie's like, "Pants? You're joking." She's like, "Yeah, of course, unless you are. So what are you actually thinking? Some nice slacks?"
Slacks, pants. And then she's like, I put on a sexy dress. And she goes, "Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
Sexy dress." She's writing it down. And she's like, "Wait, you have a crush."
Yeah.
And then she's like, what? She like acts all confused. And then she's like, "I would, do my hair." And she goes, "Oh, get out of town."
Yeah, get out of town.
She goes, "I put a little moose in it." And then she goes, "Moose, like..." That physical comedy in that
great.
scene is unbelievable.
Yeah. Katie's then like trying to coach Coop through his romantic adventure, which really he's just in love with her.
Yeah.
And she's listing names. She's like, "Oh," and then Lindsay, like, "She's a slut." And yeah, that's not really like your type.
You're not really a slut type.
Coop goes, "What? I love sluts. Sluts rock."
It just has to be the right slut.
So good.
Yeah. And in that scene, Katie suggests Susie, and then Coop's like, "Yeah, I could go for Susie. We actually dated my first summer here." And she's like, "Oh." He's like, "Yeah, we were pretty hot and heavy." She's like, "Did you go all the way?" He goes, "Yeah, you bet we went all the way. Went all the way back too. We did doggy style, pony style, Style Council." That's a good band. They're hot right now. Human League. They have some good stuff. League of Nations. That brings in the whole thing of United Nations. That brings in the whole category of countries. Where to start? Well, the obvious one. The birthplace of spaghetti and pasta, all that oily stuff. Italy. Now you go. It is the weirdest, I think I've tried to diagnose what is going on in this scene for a long time. I do it all the time, by the way. If you've heard me in a video, I'll be like, Human League.
Yeah.
They got some good stuff. I love saying that, but I think they're just doing this weird word association comedy, but also being like, remember, this is 1981. They're just basically saying this is 80s stuff, I guess.
Style Council.
But then he goes, "Now you go." And she goes, "How about Italy?" And he's like, "Yeah, good, safe." I kind of paved the way with that one, but it's the
So
weirdest
bizarre.
flirting. It doesn't make any sense. But if you watch The State, or even the Michael Showalter, which was a show on, I believe, Comedy Central, he has this style of comedy that is so odd.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites. And I think Zach Galifianakis is kind of in the same world.
Sure.
They're kind of similar in the way that they do things. Hearing Zach Galifianakis list random stuff would be funny.
Yeah.
And it's the same with Michael Showalter.
It's kind of just fever dream, like just random pull from some strange guy's subconscious.
Yeah.
I want to get back into Gene territory.
Oh, I love it.
When he first encounters the beans, the beans first off go on the beans were in the war too.
Yeah.
We had no business being over there. It's a war we could have never won. And it's okay, the beans got PTSD too. But then the bean says, "I'm going to tell you something I've never told anyone. I can suck my own dick, and I do it a lot."
And I do it a lot.
Which is awesome because the can of beans doesn't have any dick.
Well, yeah. I will say you're at a bit of a disadvantage from not watching the TV show, which did come out 15 years later and was a prequel to this movie. That's on Netflix. I noticed there are some people who've seen the TV show and not seen the movie. Definitely watch the movie if you haven't. And both seasons of the TV show, one being a prequel, one being 10 years later, both very, very good. Specifically, the first season is like, it's like almost inseparable from the movie to me. It continues with the same tone of comedy and it's very funny, but there are like explanations for certain things in the movie that you don't know.
Yeah.
Like the can of beans was a man.
Right.
Like before, who is a character in the TV show,
Yeah.
and then it's John Benjamin, and then you know, whatever. So he probably can suck his own dick.
That's true. And if I had to guess, I would have assumed that.
Yeah.
And it's
sure.
mixed vegetables. We know that, but can of beans is funnier.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is. Yeah, can of vegetables. And then one thing that I noticed this time around, and I've noticed probably before, but like it stuck out to me having watched the TV show a lot now, is Beth is talking to Henry. She's like stumbling over astrophysicist stuff because she says it's like her biggest hobby. And then he's like, who's your favorite astrophysicist? And then he does this thing too where he goes, could be anybody. Like, like he's kind of giving her the out of like, name one astrophysicist and you win the game of flirting with me. And she's like, I have to go talk to that guy, Jim Stencil. Jim Stancil.
Yeah.
That's a character in the TV show as well, which is great.
From earlier in that exact same scene, I love when Henry is giving the explanation of the Earth going around the sun. He says, technically, you could say we're all passengers on spaceship Earth. And the kids are like, oh, and then they're like, when can we say that? And he goes, whenever. Anytime. Dinner.
Literally anytime.
He just says dinner. Anytime you can say that later.
He goes, anytime. Dinner. Literally anytime. One example is so funny.
Yeah.
Giving one example for something is hilarious.
Anytime. Literally anytime.
Yeah.
Dinner.
I also love when he's about to explain that to Beth. It looks like he's like about to talk. He goes, and then she starts talking. And for some reason, the way that he does that gets me every time.
I'm going to do this one first. I love when JJ and Gary and McKinley sneak up on the girls who are having like private sexy girl swim time where it's like this again is like classic 80s trope. They're in like shin high water and like splashing each other and there's like close up shots of them.
They're taking off their bikini tops and
JJ says, oh my God, they're totally nymphos. And then at the same time, Gary goes, throw the ball. And then they throw a little beach ball together and they go, yes! To me is such a funny line. They are total nymphos. Come on, throw the ball. And it's just like any action they do is perceived as like grossly erotic to these overly horny boys. And then McKinley walks away and then
he's like, I'm going to catch up with you guys a little later.
And then he goes and has the greatest cinematic sex scene of all time with Bradley Cooper.
We'll get into that in scenes for sure. What's the name that they say in that scene a bunch? They're like trying to talk about who they should set up with McKinley from one of the Bunk 10 girls.
Oh yeah, it's Beth.
No, it's not. It's Becky or...
There's like 7 of them.
Yeah, they just are like, what about tall Becky? Yeah. What about whatever? And they just keep going like, no, that's his cousin. Like they just keep doing the same name over and over. It's so funny. Ugh. Another Gene one I have to mention is when he's giving his big speech where he's decided to tell everybody about all of his fetishes and be proud of them in front of all the campers, which is strange. But he gets into this voice that I just cannot believe. Like during that, he's just like... talking about the can of vegetables, and he's like, I don't know who he is, but I do know this. At a time when I was trying to hide myself from myself, he was there to show me a new way. Because I couldn't hide from him, and I can be proud of who I am. I put it to you, Camp Firewood, as we spend the last dinner together. Be proud of who you are. Look at me, Ma. I'm okay.
Yeah, it's very like 60s Freedom March protester, JFK, MLK. Like, it has like the 60s speech cadence.
Yeah, and there's like an American flag behind him, but it's like the 76 camp, like, you know, whatever.
And when our boys come home from that island, we gotta be good to them. Yeah. They're not evil, the government's evil. It's so funny.
And then Gary brings out the fridge and he humps it. It's...
and then he just slowly wheels it. The kids love it. The kids are like,
yeah, they're all clapping. And all the counselors, too, are like, yes, this is good that he is saying that he fondles his sweater and wipes mud on his ass. One thing that we didn't mention in this that I think is important to mention is Molly Shannon's character being this divorcee who is the arts and crafts teacher. She has a bunch of little kids around, and she is just falling apart and needs therapy from these children. One child actor in that just stands out as fantastic. He becomes kind of the mentor to her. He's the one helping her. He's more than that, but we'll get into that. But he gives her a massage. But my favorite line that he delivers to her is she's falling apart, and he just goes, "Gail, look at me. Look at me, Gail. Look at me. Gail, look at me. Say okay. I want you to say okay. Gail." He goes, "Say okay." She goes, "Okay." And he goes, "Okay, good." Like,
it's awesome.
Something about the drama of that scene is so good. And also the girl going, "But there's only one crayon and it's brown. There are literally hundreds of colored markers."
Yeah. I love at the end with the Gail and her therapist, they invite Beth to the wedding next week. Yeah. We have shrimp cocktail, and she goes, "I just hope they're not jumbo shrimp because I'm allergic to oxymorons."
Another one that just is like her being a weirdly fun, like everybody thinks she's hilarious, you know?
We haven't mentioned Amy Poehler at all, and I want to shout out my favorite line of hers is right before the talent show. She's so into the theater. Yeah. Her and Bradley Cooper are like very focused on making a phenomenal play, song, performance.
In one day. Yeah.
In one day. And they get it out of their campers too. It's like an amazing performance. And
then they all get booed. Yeah.
Right before they go out, Amy Poehler grabs the mic and just goes, "Just before we start, I want you to know the campers you're about to see suck dick." Which is awesome to say.
She goes, "But nevertheless, welcome them." Yeah. Yeah. I love that. And I love that she also is like, this is not an excuse to get out of your normal activities. It's an excuse to do some good goddamn theater. This isn't the Cleveland Playhouse. Like, she's like really on about it. She's such an angry character.
Yeah, she's like, "And so bring some movement clothes, jazz belts." She's naming weird things, but jazz belts always kills me.
Their backstory in the TV show is great too.
Oh, I'm sure.
Last two lines, both having to do with Coop and Katie. I love when Coop professes his love to Katie, and just at the end of that, when he says, "I love the way your hair smells, and I love it that sometimes for no reason you're late for shul. And I don't care that you're bow-legged, and I don't care that you're bilingual. All I know is that I would have said no to every single person on your list because I've always wanted you."
Yes.
I don't care that you're bow-legged, and I don't care that you're bilingual.
It's perfect.
Kills me.
Yeah.
I also love, at the very end of the movie, you get this turn. Like, Katie kind of bounces between Andy and Coop the whole time, and then Coop learns the new way from Gene and shows up looking really cool, and Katie chases him out and is like, I love you, like all this stuff. Next day they wake up and they have a final conversation before leaving the camp, and Katie says, "Listen, Coop, last night was really great. You were incredibly romantic and heroic, no doubt about it. And that's great, but I've thought about it, and my thing is this. Andy is really hot. And don't get me wrong, you're cute too, but Andy is like cut from marble. He's gorgeous. He has this beautiful face and this incredible body, and I genuinely don't care that he's kind of lame. I don't even care that he cheats on me. And I like you more than I like Andy, Coop, but I'm 16. And maybe it'll be a different story when I'm ready to get married, but right now I am entirely about sex. I just want to get laid. I just want to take him and grab him and fuck his brains out, you know? So that's where my priorities are right now. Sex, specifically with Andy and not with you. But you're really nice. Everybody thinks so. And I'm sorry if this isn't the direction you saw things going between us. I still totally want to be friends." Unbelievable turn. It really is like good guy gets the girl, immediately loses her before the end of the movie.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's amazing.
Paul Rudd pulls up with the funniest looking dad and goes, "Katie, get in." She gets in, throws her bag on him, and he's just sitting there, and then they pull away.
Yeah.
I love the Coop line to start that speech, too. He's, "All right, so I was thinking we'll get together in the city next week, and I'll bring my parents, and you can bring yours."
His facial expression, too, during that, he's just like... Yeah. And he goes, at one point he goes... okay. Like, he's just like, wow, okay, this is really, yeah. Oh, last one, actually, Janine Garofalo in the infirmary when she walks in at the nurse and she goes, the phone, where's the fucking phone?
It's in the back room.
They're just smashing shit.
It's got to be the most fun scene to have shot.
That's what they said. Janine Garofalo in her interview about the movie was like, the scene with Joe Latruglio, we just got to destroy a place.
Some other honorable mentions. You taste like cheeseburgers. I don't like you anymore.
Yep.
That one can't go.
You taste like a cheeseburger. I don't like you anymore.
It is just awesome. And then I love Joe Latruglio, his just physical comedy of reacting to Ken Marino saving the children.
Because they can't show it.
He's, oh, what the fuck? He's doing it. He's really fucking doing it.
Yeah, he goes, you saved him. You saved him.
That to me. And when he pulls back up at camp and he's a different guy for 1 second.
Oh, every single time in the movie they use a stunt double for when the motorcycle is running at all. And it's so clearly a different person, like on purpose. He has a terrible wig on, just the same outfit. It's so funny.
He has, when he figures out, you're a Stanley and you've bedded 50, 60 women. Ken Marino's like, closer to 0. And he gets so enraged and he goes, you're a fucking loser.
You're a loser. You're a loser. Oh, you fucking loser.
I love how like he gets like fuming mad once he figures out his friend has been caught in this lie.
Oh, last honorable mention is Abby Bernstein saying, sucks dick we never got to know each other, you know?
Let's just talk about every scene in the movie.
All right, let's do scenes.
All right, I can see we both have when Beth and Henry first meet.
Yeah, that's where I got, by the way, that's our inspiration for making that weird like crash sound anytime we throw something off screen.
I was going to say
from this movie.
This is Apex Mountain of pottery breaking sounds.
Yeah.
Which is, slapstick comedy trope throughout older movies and stuff. But man, the way they use it in this is so funny.
Yeah, because Beth goes to shake Henry's hand. He hands her the spade and then she goes like this and then goes like this and just the handle flies off and goes around the corner and you hear it crash. And then he eventually throws the handle and that also makes the same sound after you hear the real sound of it hitting the deck, which is like, for some reason also makes it funnier.
Yeah, you hear the... It happens again in the cafeteria with Gene.
Yep.
Oh, it's perfect.
The favorite shirt scene.
Yes.
Where they're cold in the barn.
That's probably my favorite scene in the movie.
Right.
Just like the pure awkwardness and the pure like strangeness of Michael Showalter in that. He takes the jacket and he like the way he wraps it around him and he goes.
Yeah, he wraps it like this and he goes. But also it's 2:30 p.m. in Maine in the summer and they're freezing cold in a barn.
Oh God, Coop, now I'm really freezing. You want my shirt?
You want my flannel?
Yeah. And then
and then she's like, oh, this shirt is so cool, Coop. I love it. And he's like, yeah, it's my favorite shirt. So you're going to have to give it back. And then she's like, now? And he's like, yeah.
Unbelievable.
And then as she's wrapping it back around him, he's like, what are we doing? And then she's like, trading shirts? And he goes, no, what are we doing?
Yeah, and then they kiss.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We already talked about Paul Rudd being a dick to Katie, but all of those scenes are just like the defiant way he's able to act is like so unprompted and she's just being really sweet. And then when he is alone in the cafeteria having his mystery second meal of the day.
In the same hour.
Yeah.
It's literally the same hour as when he's like, yo, JJ, send me a waffle, man.
And then he's in there, presuming he thinks he's alone. He's looking forward. We can kind of see Beth walking up behind him and he just fucking swipes his plate and cup out onto the floor and she's like, what the heck, Andy? Clean that up. And he's like,
I will. I don't have time right now.
And then when he has to do it, he's like, oh, he's like,
he does this physical comedy move that is just, it's like,
it's like when you tell a toddler to pick up their toys, like he's being tugged around. That is so funny.
I love also, there are, we'll talk about it. There are slurs used in this movie, specifically homophobic slurs. Yeah. It's kind of like we have to talk about it broadly. And I listened to David Wayne and Michael Showalter talk about this before, and they said that it was a statement in 2000. You have to think about the timing of this movie. Yeah. That they wanted a very beautiful sex scene to happen between two men in this movie and for it to be the only legitimate successful relationship. Right. The only two stable characters in a relationship with one another. All of the other ones seem to be like everybody's cheating on each other and just trying to make out and lose their virginity and stuff. And it has all those tropes from the camp movies of like, it's the last night of camp and I got to lose my virginity and all the boys help them. They wanted to like play off of that. They do use the F slur when talking about it. Specifically, JJ and Gary talking about McKinley are like, McKinley's and they say it. And they do that a bunch, and then you think that they're going to be pissed about it.
Like, yeah.
And then the best turn in the entire movie is they're like, what are we going to do? And then they walk into the lunchroom, and McKinley and Ben are sitting next to each other after they witness their marriage in the woods, which is like a weird, like hippie ritual marriage.
Shout out to Amy Poehler's physical comedy in that. She's playing the flute cross-legged because that's the first thing they see. It seems like she's playing the flute. She's like,
it's like, oh, kinky.
It's like impish. She's like a little like woodland fairy playing the flute. It's so funny.
So they see that, find out that McKinley's gay with Ben, and then they're like, what are we gonna do? Lunchroom, they're sitting together, and they open the door and they go, hey, McKinley, this one's for you. And then they come in with a chaise lounge from Crate and Barrel and give it to them as a gift.
It's like, a chaise lounge. We didn't know if you had one yet or not. We saved the receipt. If you want to return it, they go, oh, it matches the throw towel Beth's sister got us.
It is so such perfect. A good, it's like a housewarming gift for their gay friends. Like, it is so funny. Like, because I did not expect, first time I watched it, I didn't expect it. It's great.
And they're 16.
Oh, yeah. They're married, 16-year-old.
Moving in together, and their other friends buy them like a nice, like a very adult gift.
Yeah.
Which is just so, so funny.
Also, background for this movie on how it was filmed. It was filmed over, I believe, 28 days. And most of those days it rained, and they were really relying on natural light. They that's the reason that it was cheap to do is like crew was small. A lot of them are just outdoor scenes and they just had to kind of shoot them with a camera. And they said that the only scene that they worried about the lighting was the gay sex scene between Bradley Cooper and Michael Ian Black. Right. They wanted it to look like an 80s romantic like sex scene, and they're in just tube socks, and they're like, they said they were just covered in like the fake sweat.
So much of it.
And they're just like, it's a really beautiful sex scene. And they said they had to play it 100% straight, like, no pun intended, but you know, they needed it to be earnest, and the rest of the movie has almost no earnestness. Bradley
Cooper kicking the soccer ball out of the way and then like kind of scaling the stuff.
They're like climbing a ladder.
It's so, that to me, that I've always thought is so, he's like, has to get the ball out of the way, and then they start scaling the ladder. Yeah. So funny.
Bradley Cooper described it too as, he was like, I was hanging out with Michael Ian Black for like 2 weeks before we filmed that scene, and we'd be like playing ping pong, and it would pop into our brains like, oh, we have to do that. In 2 weeks, we have to do a very intimate sex scene together. Like, it would just pop into my brain.
Yeah. The first swim time scene is so funny to me. It's so like, that one's like just like really well shot. Like, it's loaded with the activities. You come in and it's like the classic, like little roped off muddy lake swim time. And then it's Andy and JJ at the end. Andy's in the cutoff shorts and they're like asleep. And the one kid asks, hey, can I take the motorboat out for a spin around the lake? I don't care. And then Lindsay comes up, they start making out. All the kid is like doing the most ridiculous things while Andy's getting the makeout in with Lindsay. He's going no hands on the boat. Wow! And it's going fast and it comes back. And then I love that when he gets back to the dock, there's about this much space between the boat and the dock, and he slips in between that, and this is when that kid dies. Yeah. Because now he's like, I'm drowning, I can't swim. He's just raced a motorboat around the lake, going no hands.
Andy, help me, help me.
For God's sake, Andy, help me. And then
I'm busy.
The other kid that comes up and goes, it's literally your job to stop kids from drowning.
It's literally your job to make sure that kids don't drown.
That's so good.
Got to talk about the montage scene, obviously, when they go into town. Yeah. Beth's going into town. Everybody like runs out and is like, Beth's going into town. We got to go. And they hop into the back of a pickup truck. They're cheering the whole way. They get it into town, and this montage happens where like first they're like going to the library so she can research astrophysics. Obviously Henry's on the other side in the other aisle where it says camp directing.
Right.
He's reading books about that. They're smoking cigarettes. Yeah. And then she comes up and is like, she's like, wait. And then she goes, I'm kidding, give me one. They smoke cigarettes, then they're smoking weed, then they buy cocaine, then they end up doing heroin, and they're like tweaking like this, and they're pouring French fries into their mouths too. They're drinking beer, they mug an old lady. All of this happens and then they get back to camp and they're like, Gary runs up and he's like, how was town? And they're like, it's great to get out, even for just an hour.
Yeah. I love that scene so much because that is like a feeling that I'll never get back again. Like as a counselor, making that like errand run.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you have night off or like 2 hours off and like you get a little list and you're like, all right, so we need some ice cream for the nightly snack. We need s'mores and you have to go to the pharmacy and get one kid's medicine. Like doing those little runs in town. And if you got to go with one friend, you were bad boy energy. Like you could do, it just felt like you were like escaped prison, even though camp is super fun.
Right.
But like just seeing civilization again was so funny. And like that scene, as dark and funny as it is, it really does like fill me with joy because it reminds me of that feeling.
Yeah.
Of like cheating away and going to buy stuff and like do things and eat McDonald's.
Yeah. Amy Poehler's physical comedy in that is my favorite. I think about it all the time where she's next to the drug dealer, like on his arm, and she's just like this. She's like doing that. And then she goes, like in his face is coughing as she's like begging him for assume more heroin.
Shout out the line that starts that too when the nurse comes up to Beth and he goes, come on, Beth, my husband's coming into town today and I need some lube for my pussy. That line kills me because that is just like ridiculous. There is another montage scene in this when Coop is crashing out, when Katie says that it was a mistake that they kissed. And the waterworks. Every time anybody cries in this, it's just amazing.
Specifically, Michael Showalter doing this
on like a little stack of rocks.
I don't know. It's like a pile of wood or something.
Gene comes up behind him. Coop just like refuses to look at him.
Oh yeah, he's like crying and looking at the sun.
He looks out forward and goes, Gene.
Is that you?
Yeah, Gene's right here. Yeah. And then he like explains how he discovered himself. And then he like looks this way and he goes, can you show me this new way? And this new way involves dressing like Gene, exercising, and learning a really awesome dance routine.
Yeah, dancing, a lot of dancing. Also getting like a marble from Gene's hand.
That's like the Karate Kid trope, you know, getting the snapping out of your master's hand. Taking it higher and higher.
Yeah. Into the fever, taking it higher and higher.
That's that montage scene is like one that's a little underrated for me because I feel like I don't think of that one immediately, but every time I watch the movie, I'm like, oh yeah, this is where Coop gets his mojo.
Right.
And then when he walks into the talent show later, Elizabeth Banks' performance of just being like,
she's just like,
oh, she like crumbles into herself because he walks in with a headband.
Yeah, he has a headband and a crop top, and Katie also gets distracted talking to him. That's so funny. He like says something to her, and she's like, what?
Yeah, she's like drooling.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I love that they do a lot of transformation with Michael Showalter in this movie where like he's just kind of like the dork, then he's like the cool guy. He's also Alan Shemper.
Yeah.
the comedian. He like plays that comedian who comes in and everybody loves, and his jokes are just like, you've quoted this a bunch to me.
Yeah.
Like he just be like, I'm so old, when I went to camp, it was the Stone Age.
I'm so old, when I went to camp, Jesus Christ was my fucking counselor.
Yeah, like that whole thing was, and then he goes, there were two epidemics when I went to camp, head lice and the plague. The bubonic plague. Yeah, it's so good.
We did arts and crafts. We'd call it arts and farts and crafts.
I quote that one all the time.
That one's great.
I'm like, arts and crafts, or as I like to call it, arts and farts and crafts.
When he gives the applause to the kid who controls the wind at the end.
Yeah.
Beautiful, baby. And then he falls back over. He's like, yeah, that is by far probably my favorite like character scene or whatever. Just that performance is so good. So my hat's backwards now.
So I do have a few questionable scenes or possible worse scenes. The capture the flag scene is a little, there's one black person in this entire movie, and it's a Kenyan runner. They bring him in to just like dominate the capture the flag game. It's funny, I'll admit. I laugh, and it does bring the gif that some people have probably seen of Coop on the ground waving to Katie and smiling. They call it Coop's smile. That's literally like the gif that comes from it. It's a funny scene, but it's like a little just it raised my eyebrows when doing it for How Did It Age. I was like, well, there are 0 black characters in this movie, and so it's a little weird to bring that joke in there. It does make you laugh, though.
Yep.
Second, we have Molly Shannon dating the kid. It is literally a child, and then Molly Shannon is getting married to him.
A week later.
Molly Shannon said she loved that. I watched her interview about this movie last night, and she was like, I love offensive comedy. I love stuff that like breaks rules.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious that they're aware of what they're doing, and it's not supposed to be like this weird, actually predatory thing, like saying it's okay. It's like playing it for the comedy of seeing a grown woman just with this tiny little child who acts as her therapist and then becomes her future husband.
Yep.
And then you have the white kid doing the Def Jam comedy thing during the talent show.
It's probably my favorite bit during the whole talent show.
It's very funny.
White guys are mad. They raise their voice. Watch your mouth, motherfucker. Brothers, they don't even got to raise their voice. They'll be like...
They go... I forget what he even says,
he
but he like
lifts
raises,
his head up.
He goes, say it again or something. Like it's like, yeah, it's just like a little white kid.
Got the visor on.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It did age maybe a little bit weird just because there are no black characters in this movie.
Yeah, and there's Def Jam comedy is not what it ever or used to be. So
yeah. It works, but those are the things that in How Did It Age I feel like we'd be remiss not to discuss, you know?
Yeah. I love the quick little shout out to this scene. Lindsay being covered in barbecue sauce.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely love that. There's one, Andy ditches Katie. I think the ribs are ready and ditches her. He's in line to get barbecue. And then Lindsay sneaks up on him and is like, you want to make out later? And
come on, Andy. I want to make out.
Turns around and she's got tons of sauce. And he's like, oh, you got a little... She's like, what? Cat cut your tongue? He's like, and then it cuts back to him. He's like, no, you have some sauce in your face. Cuts back to her. More sauce on her face, like double the sauce. Oh, it's just like, what? It's just a little sauce. He's like, no, it's actually a lot. It's kind of gross. That is such a funny scene.
I have a 3-way tie.
Sure.
Christopher Maloney, Janine Garofalo, David Hyde Pierce.
I have a 3-way tie pretty much as well. I have Christopher Maloney, Janine Garofalo, and Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd for me is just like the way he acts so stupid and like an asshole is just, it kills me every time.
Yeah. Janine Garofalo did say in her interview too that Christopher Maloney and David Hyde Pierce, like everybody, no matter what was going on during the filming, when those two had scenes, everybody would come watch. They had to see what they were going to do. And they both like, you know, this movie is a weird thing in time because it is Amy Poehler's first movie. It's Bradley Cooper's first movie. Paul Rudd was not a huge name yet. Yeah. He had done Clueless and that's it pretty much. And so the big names going into this, like the ones that they were hoping would sell tickets were Janine Garofalo, kind of David Hyde Pierce, and kind of Christopher Maloney. Yeah. So they are kind of like the established people, and then all these other people went on to do big things. So like if you look at the poster, Amy Poehler, Paul Rudd, Bradley Cooper, their names aren't even on it. Yeah. It's just these other actors.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And so it is really cool that they had such respect for these people who had done great things and are so good in this movie, and then everybody else went on to be such a big star, you know? It doesn't really have to be different. It's set in the 80s, and they're, you know?
Yeah, I mean, maybe less camper counselor relationship stuff.
Yeah.
But when Moose gets the makeout as Ken Marino's like banged up and runs up and sees that, that's fucking funny.
Oh, it is so funny.
And then it's like kind of reveals itself that Moose has like all this swag. Because when he comes out for the talent show, the whole place is like, Moose. And
and then he just farts into a lighter.
And then he goes.
That is one of my favorite physical comedy moments. He just goes.
It's so funny.
Yeah, and Abby Bernstein just makes out with everybody in the movie. Like at one point she makes out with JJ, she makes out with Gary, she makes out with Victor, makes out with Moose, and then makes out with Lindsay during the
tornado.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Also, there's 2 seasons of a TV show, so that's how it would be different today.
Yeah.
Well, now 10 years ago, but it's like an endless pool of jokes. Like you can really go to this and like the TV show is just as good as the movie. So, I
see you wrote a recast.
You didn't write one.
I said it's impossible.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty impossible, but I tried.
I tried and I erased and I re-erased. I wrote Drewski, Adam Sandler, Drewski, Adam Sandler, Drewski. Psh, not gonna work.
All right, well, I got Adam Friedland as Coop, Graydon Weaver as Andy. Give me a rack.
Nice.
Jenna Ortega as Katie. You're welcome. Jake Gyllenhaal as Ben. Drewski as Victor. I had to put him in there for you.
Thank you.
Rachel Sanat as Lindsay and Sabrina Carpenter as Susie.
No Gene.
No, you can't recast Gene.
Oh, just bring him back.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about saying John Hamm, but that's a bit of a spoiler for the TV show.
Okay.
Because he's in the TV show and does kind of he's like Gene's buddy.
Nice.
And does kind of a Gene thing. So it was tough to avoid. There's a lot of people in the TV show that like, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that person, of course, loves Wet Hot American Summer.
Yep.
And, you know, spoiler, I guess, in the 10 years later one, Bradley Cooper obviously probably was too busy doing like Oscar nominated movies to do it. And so Adam Scott plays Bradley Cooper and says that he got like a nose job. And so he's like, he just is there and they're like, he's like, does it look bad? And everybody's like, no, you look great. And it's just Adam Scott playing
awesome.
Bradley Cooper. So that's good.
One of the best in any movie we've done yet.
Yeah.
It's really perfect. It's done by Theodore Shapiro and Craig Wedren. Knocked it out of the park. Absolutely.
Yeah. They have a bunch of like hair metal kind of rock songs, you know?
It just stays right in the good mood, like 80s nostalgia, but no song is that recognizable until you get Danny's song.
Right.
Which
oh
you get,
my God. I forgot to even say that. That's my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah.
Probably.
Even though we ain't got money, I'm so in love with you.
Fuck! No. I got it. I'm sorry. I got it. Because there's a physical comedy part that's like perfect. He just goes, he's driving back from, he's like, was so angry leaving to take the van back to go get Abby Bernstein. Then he's just chilling, driving the van. And he's singing Kenny Loggins' famous song, Danny's song, going, even though we ain't got money, I'm so in love with you, honey, and everything will bring a chain of love. Yeah. He throws in his own flourish. And he goes, in the morning when I rise, bring a tear. Oh, fuck. And then crashes the van directly into a tree.
Wait for me, Abby Bernstein.
Wait for me, Abby.
And that whole chase scene, yeah, we didn't really mention that, but that is awesome.
Every scene is so good.
The hay bale. And he goes,
yeah.
He's almost like proud of him that he got away when he stops at the hay bale. He's like, he like looks at him with a little glint of like admiration.
He's like, I'll get you. They're like best friends, but he like hates him kind of. It's so weird.
Yeah. Soundtrack is great. Really, really great. And then the day by day.
Yeah.
That whole performance and the singing of that is really, really great. Yeah, it's awesome. Training montage song we mentioned during Coop's dance that he learns to get his confidence back.
Yeah, or as Alan Shemper calls it, by the way, he goes, it's one of my favorite tunes from Godspell, whatever. He goes, day by day.
Yeah, day by day.
Yeah, that's good. It's a good soundtrack.
Yep, it's really, really perfect. Yes.
Yep.
See ya.
Yep.
Of course. Please watch it if you haven't. Yeah, it's amazing.
I gave it 5 stars and said, funniest movie ever? Question mark?
I gave it 5 stars and I said, I went to summer camp so long ago, it was always swim time.
Oh, so it was like before there were continents? Is that
before like we were on land?
So there was like Pangea and this was somewhere else, or no?
No, we were still fish.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was always swim time.
I get it, yeah.
Because we hadn't left the ocean yet.
I feel like you would have had to explain a lot to get people.
I think most people that understand science and evolution would get that one and would laugh.
I don't know.
As an evolution denier, I understand.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I was a little critical of that joke, but you know that I think you're the funniest person on this flat earth. And so you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, I think you could do better. I'm hoping better from you.
Do better. That was Wet Hot American Summer, a absolute masterpiece from 2001. One of me and Riley's favorite movies of all time. If you want to know what movie we're going to watch next for this segment, look at our Patreon or become a Patreon member so you can see which movie that's going to be. We try and post it as early as possible in the weeks so you can join in on this little movie club that we have over here.
Yeah, I have an announcement, by the way.
No.
We're going to do this a little bit different from now on, okay? So what you meant to say there was Patreon member or YouTube member on the main channel. If you're either one of those, we are going to post on Mondays, the day after this episode comes out. So if you're watching this on Sunday, it's tomorrow. If you're watching this on Monday, the day after, it's today. We're going to post an open-ended forum where you can suggest what movie we should watch next. The most requested movie, that's the one that we're going to do. We're going to try this out for a little while. Maybe, we'll see how crazy it gets, but suggest a movie you'd like to see us cover in this series, and the most requested one each week, that's the one that we're going to do.
Yes, it can't be one we've already done. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
And if that's the top one, we're just not going to do it.
Right, we'll skip over those, so don't waste your vote.
Yeah.
Other than that, this has been How Did It Age? That was Wet Hot American Summer. Thank you so much for watching. We're Hive Mind Unlimited, and we'll see you in the next one.
A lot of people in the room here today, too. What's up with that?
I need crowd reaction. I realized that it wasn't enough for me to get laughs from you. I needed more people. Honestly, I need female energy in the room. That's why I brought a bunch of girls.
You are lit, dude. You got motion.
Yeah, people say that. Yeah, I know.
It's like not even like I've seen motion, but you got motion.
He's got motion.
Yeah, whatever.
It's like I would call it locomotion.
Locomotion.
They're just kind of repeating whatever I say.
Yeah, lotion for short, but I'm just doing my job. I just show up, make people laugh, give people a good experience, entertain them. Yep. And that's enough. And yeah, I mean, it's really just business as usual for me. So
doing this like a sports press conference.
You just got to go out there, try to get as many laughs as you can. First of all, I got to thank the man upstairs. Like nothing would be possible without him.
Ted Turner?
Shout out God.
No, yeah, God. He blessed me with the ability to do what I do. And it's really, all glory to him. I'm just kind of a vessel for his almighty power.
Praise be.
Yeah, enough of that. Seriously.